Okay, let's welcome Beth to the stage. This is Beth Koenig. How are you, Beth?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, a lot better than this morning. Had a
Right,
migraine
good.
and
Oh
lucky I
my goodness.
recovered.
There you go. There you go. Well, Beth is on our team. And in fact, she was the first team member that we were able to add. So we are like so blessed and lucky to have Beth. She was here for our very first challenge 7 challenges ago, Beth. That's wild, right?
Yeah.
Wild. Well, Beth, let's have everybody catch up really quick. Like, where were you before you met me? What were some of the struggles that you were going through?
So before I met Joy, I was, I was an advocate dealing with special needs students in the school system, trying to advocate for what they needed and stuff. And that actually led me to special needs tutoring because before we could get the district to cover everything, I ended up being the one teaching the students the stuff they needed to know.
Mm.
Because, sometimes we were like, fighting the district for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
So then, I'm like, well, we should start a preschool. We always had this in the back of our minds, like we should like start a preschool. We can get them when they're really young. We can teach them everything they need to know, and then they'll just take
Yeah.
off, right? That was the whole idea. And I'm like, okay, well, now I'm in special needs tutoring. I'm seeing that these kids are in the school system. They're still having issues. So just a
Mm.
preschool wouldn't necessarily work, but we can't even get a preschool together. So how are we going to solve the rest of the thing? And so
Right.
I ended up consulting for special needs homeschoolers, got really into the homeschooling community in my local area. Um, my friends would invite me to birthday parties to look at the kids,
Right.
and I'm like, guys, Beth, you can have cake. Come over.
I
Anyway,
love that.
yeah. So fast forward to 2020, and I'm
Yeah.
sitting staring at CNN like everybody,
Right.
right? I'm just like scrolling on my cell phone during commercials because I saw those commercials like 20 zillion times, right? I'm scrolling on my cell
Yep.
phone and looking at all my emails because, before COVID, I didn't have time to answer emails. Like,
Right. Yep.
so I
Hmm.
see an email from Joy and it says online preschool. I'm like, online preschool? Click. Yes, please.
Yeah.
I signed up and I had my preschool up and running. I think it was like under 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, you were right there. As soon as we said, let's do online preschool, boom, your preschool's going. You're super techie. And so guess what, everyone? She, as on our team, she's our tech queen, right? Like she runs Tech Tuesdays. Every Tuesday she's there. Except for next time when we come, which is going to be like Halloween. She's going to do Tech Wednesday. So once you join Preschool All Stars, just plan the day after Halloween to come hang out with Beth for Tech Wednesday that day. But so you jumped in, and here's what I'd like you to talk about though for a second, because when we're still learning, I know you're super techie and all that amazing stuff, which you helped every one of us. She helped create the hub. So just hashtag hub. This is Beth's brainchild, Beth's baby, the hub, right? She's freaking amazing. But let's go back to the moment when, even though you set up your online preschool, was there any part of you that was still a little bit nervous? I mean, are you just like, hey, I got everything, like nothing can rattle me? Or was there any part of you that was just a little bit nervous to put yourself out there?
Oh my gosh. I was so nervous. I get nervous before I come on lives. I'm getting used to the whole idea. Like today, before this live where I know I'm gonna be in front of probably over 100 people, right?
Yep.
Um, you know, I'm like, okay, gotta go to the bathroom, make sure my hair's brushed, and like but I'm still nervous, right? And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, just chill. Your tech's working, you're good, chill.
Right.
Wait for Joy to come on, right? And it's like I still get that nervousness, but then I
Mm,
can breathe through it and I can proceed.
yeah.
I still have that even, some days when I show up in front of my students. I started my preschool and I got that up and running, and then I think it was like I can't remember if it was September or October. I started a K-12 program,
Right.
and I was serving, all the different grade levels. And I still, run that to this day. My preschool's on hiatus while I work on building the K-12 program.
Well, you
Because
run a very big K-12 program. Well, that makes sense.
yeah, like we just hired the third teacher. So I'm one
Wow.
teacher, two teachers, but we have three teachers now.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we're
And
we're
so let's talk about it, because we have a lot of women who are like, hey, I would love to start a preschool. I would love to have this preschool business, but like, I don't know how to teach preschool. I don't feel qualified. I mean, so let me ask you this, Beth. Do you have a degree in early childhood education?
nope.
Okay, so but you could still start a preschool. Do you have a degree in elementary education?
No.
But
Um
you could run a K-12. So,
right.
like,
I
what gives you the right, Beth, to do these things? You don't have a degree.
yeah, I know, right? Like I have 3 degrees. They're all AA degrees.
Yeah,
Psychology, behavioral sciences, and arts. Well,
right.
humanity arts, not art
Yeah.
arts. Uh, those are
None of
my
them are teaching. So, like, how did you ever come across that and you're like, like, but what if somebody asked me if I have a teaching degree or if I'm certified or like,
well,
how do you work out that?
first of all, people aren't gonna come to me because I'm certified or whatever. If
Yeah.
people start asking, "Where are your credentials?" I'm like, "Okay, look, 1, I run a program for special needs. My
Yeah.
background is in special needs tutoring,
Hmm.
right? I have a lot of experience. I have over 20 years of experience.
Yeah.
20 years plus because I got started back in probably in high school. I was teaching my friends how to do stuff on their computers and
Right.
on JAWS and Deck Talk and all these words I'm saying that don't make any sense to you. That's software for blind people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like, um, I was teaching and tutoring kids in special needs areas before
Mm.
I even graduated high school,
Yeah.
and I like plus I'm autistic myself. So if you have
Mhm.
a kid with sensory issues, right, or autism on the spectrum, whatever, I have that thing where I can relate to them,
Yeah.
and in a way that most people just can't.
Mhm.
And I've seen that over and over again. Like people like, well, how is it doing this? Okay, well, have you checked this, this, and this? And I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
okay. But then how does that relate? I'm like, okay, this is connected to this,
Right.
right? And then it clicks.
Yeah.
And so it's like you have to have that experience and that background. So if people are looking for a credentialed program, I'm not your person. If you're
Yeah.
looking for a program that will seek out any solution that I can possibly find for your child, then that's the program. That's
Committed, right? Passionate. That's what you are. You have the passion to help these students. And that alone is the thing that it doesn't matter what degree somebody might have. If they don't have that passion, they should not be teaching in the first place,
yeah.
right?
There's so many people I've met that have doctorates, and I'm like, dude, like I don't know why your university is still letting you on the stage. Like, just
I
go
mean,
in
not
your
a
office
bad
and
great to
stay
have
there.
a doctorate. Yeah, great to have a doctorate, but if you are not, like, being kind to people and really passionate about what you are doing, then yeah. Okay, so for the women who are coming through the program, I mean, you've been here for 7 challenges now. You've seen it every time. What would you say to these women who are struggling right now with as they develop their as they're pondering their talents, their skills, their background, and pulling resources out of, almost sometimes they feel thin air because they're having to think of their past, they're having to think of like, what qualifies me to be an amazing preschool teacher and owner? The interesting thing is, like, nothing's going to qualify you. It's all in here. It's how you put yourself out there. It's what you believe about yourself. And so, what would you say to them, as right now some of them are struggling to feel worthy, struggling to feel like what they have is enough?
Yeah, and I look at, all those programs and stuff that are so well done and like these YouTubers that have like all these fancy transitions and everything, and I'm like, I can't. I literally can't.
Yeah.
Um, what makes me qualified or better than them? And the answer is that I might not be better than them, but am I good enough? Can I get the job done?
Yeah.
Am I willing to show up? Am I willing to push through challenges? AKA a migraine today. That was
Yes, thank you. Oh, you're feeling better though.
yeah. Yeah, I was
Good.
able to actually keep in contact with my teachers via text. And so I was
Yeah.
able to problem solve while keeping one eye shut. So
Shoot. Oh no.
guys, like it can be done. You just,
Yeah, yeah.
like there are ways to do things. And just because you think, okay, well, this person is doing it better than me, right? And they're way better.
Mm,
Well, we can get better. And until then, we show up and we're good enough, right?
yes. Yes.
And if we find an area where we're not good enough, we find a resource or some help somewhere
Yeah.
to help us level up.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm hoping to do. I'm constantly worried about my program, right? I'm constantly worried about, okay, are the kids getting what they need? Da, 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 da,
Yeah.
da. Well, I have software that measures, like I have measurements and metrics in my school now where
Nice.
I can just like look at stuff and say, okay, yeah, no, this kid's where they're at. Okay, no, this kid needs to work on this. And oh
Mm,
yeah, by the way, I noticed they were having problems with that. And that's exactly what my software says. So I'm noticing
yeah.
the same things that my software is telling me.
Yep.
And so that just gives me more confidence in my software, right? And so as we go through, and we do things and we learn things, oh man, I was watching this video. I'm laying there like moaning, right? Watching this
Right.
video, and this person's like, you know, and she has like this training that she's doing, and she's like, you know, when you show up in real life, school will teach you all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
It's not going to teach you how to do your job.
Yeah.
You have to show up to your job and you have to work at, even if it's not perfect or the best results, right? We want to get our products to market. We want to prove
Mm.
our models. We want to do these things, right? And I switched over to industry language, but
That's
um,
okay.
yeah, we want to do these things and just improve and iterate and improve and improve and improve.
Yeah.
My first class that I did for my preschool
Yeah.
was me talking to my business partner, and we were, I think, talking about farm animals or something. I have the video somewhere. I need to post it.
Right. Right,
Like,
do, yeah.
horrible. And then you fast forward to me, and I'm like doing Baby Shark, and my
Yeah.
full role behind me and everything. Much better, right? Still probably not the greatest thing in the world, but I can
Yeah.
find Baby
So it's
Shark.
iterations. That's what you're saying. You're like, get it out, start because you got to start sometime. And then you can consistently over time iterate and improve your programs, right?
Yes. And that iteration thing, like, okay, guys, if you aren't on VIP, you missed a great session yesterday. I
But they
mean,
can get the recording if they join VIP. So there's
o-
that.
okay, so that's good. Yeah, because I'm telling you, like, as long as I've been following Joy and being in her program and
Yeah.
seeing all the things and being behind the scenes and everything, last night was fire. And I had so many epiphanies just blowing up in my head. Um, Maybe that's what caused my migraine.
I know. Sorry. It's me.
Anyways, well, actually, I had a headache before that.
Yeah.
I was off camera watching it, but yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Like all these epiphanies of how I can change my program and do this and that. And the only problem was I wanted to get up and actually go into my hub and start programming it out. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I can't. I can't.
Right. Well, Beth, this has been amazing talking to you. And I think it's so important for everybody just to remember comparison is the thief of joy. I love that quote. Comparison is the thief of joy. So never judge your starting line by someone else's finish line because they had a starting line too. And just like Beth says, it was a little rough. It's rough for all of us. Okay. None of us started like this. So, Beth, is there any last words that you'd like to say if someone is on the fence about joining Preschool All Stars? Or hub. Oh my gosh. Don't get on a soapbox, girl.
I, I know we're time sensitive here, but like
Right.
I could so get on a soapbox about the hub.
I know.
As far as preschool all stars, I will
Yeah.
focus on that for tonight.
Okay.
Okay. Guys, I have literally never been in a more supportive group in my entire life. I have found my people, I have found where I belong. And for a person who grew up on the autism spectrum, not really knowing where they belonged, right? And
Mm.
only finding like kind of niches in like the disability community and world to be able to actually go into a group of women who are quote unquote neurotypical,
Yeah.
right? And actually have a place where I'm welcome, and loved. Even like I feel love from people in the
Yeah.
group and stuff, and I love people. Like Jelly's one of my best friends,
Yeah.
and I just absolutely love people. And
Yeah.
and getting to see them on Tech Tuesday and help with things, and even if I don't feel well, I still show up for Tech Tuesday and do my best to help them, and
Yeah.
then they actually get something done, and I'm like, ah, at least me being in pain was worth it. Like, I love doing things that are productive and stuff. And so
Yeah.
that's about Tech Tuesday. But as far as Preschool All Stars goes, guys, there's not a better community on Facebook or anywhere else, ever, anywhere that I have found. And I've been to a lot of communities. Um,
Yeah.
so if you're on the fence, I think it's that thing of like, you are where you need to be on your journey, right?
Yep.
But like, please get off the fence and join us. And
Yeah.
this is just such a wonderful, loving group of people that I'm so blessed to be a part of this and to be in this world. And it brings me joy. Like, it just brings me joy and gratitude every day that I can wake up and do something. Well, most days I can wake up and do something.
Oh, Beth, you're amazing. We love you so much. And we want to make sure that you continue to rest. So thank you so much for being here, Beth. And everyone else will see you for Tech Tuesday every week when they join Preschool All Stars. Thanks, Beth.
See you later.